You cannot help but stare at her rune-covered body as you pass by. The single line merges back. However, now you are no longer with Kriya. Kriya is one pair ahead. The man walking beside you has a shaved head. He wears a robe that reminds you of something a monk would wear. There is a slave collar that appears to be made of silver around his neck with a thick gold chain attached. The chain is only a few feet long. It swings loose over his chest. With each stride, his eyes remain fixed straight ahead. Is that chain pure gold? You wonder. If so, it would be worth a fortune. What an unusual man. You've never met a monk before. What do? I think I should talk to him. Ask him about himself. Pleased to meet your acquaintance, you say. I take it you're a monk. He keeps his eyes straight forward, his golden chain swinging back and forth rhythmically. You clear your throat. As a dark elf, you are to be feared, not ignored. I say, sir, but suddenly there's an impact to your side and you twist in pain. He hit me. You wonder. You did not even see it. Clearly it was a blur at best. Is he that fucking fast? Shh! Comes a hissing from behind in the line. You suppose this is not the time to be talking. Everyone else is remaining silent for the ceremony. You suppose you ought to show some respect. Even though the monk hit you, you're having a difficult time mustering anger at him. His face appears so completely serene. If not for the lingering throbbing to your side, you might even chuckle. In any case, you decide to not take it personally. Monks are known to be as severe as they are disciplined. Okay, that's fine. The parade continues, and I still don't know why I received one life. I guess we are just healing over time, I guess, like, because body would heal eventually. The parade continues until you reach the main gate that leads to the inner ring. There is a large clearing here, large enough to accommodate a market. Indeed, you have had heard that traveling markets catering to the wealthier would set up here every week in the warmer months, that the Duke would sometimes hold private tournament. You remember this gate from when you escaped the inner ring after emerging from underground. From the outside, the wall is even taller than you remember it. Rain begins to fall. The droplets splash into the moat, turning its surface into a blur of ripples. I'm still not sure what a moat is, and it's kind of off, like if they're having a fucking ritual and procession and a function, and it's fucking raining. That's unfortunate for them. What is I think moat is like a puddle of water, right? I think. I'm not sure. Wait. A moat, I think, actually is like if there's a wall, right, and you build like a trench around it and then fill said trench with water, like to prevent enemies from getting closer, and like putting up ladders. So I think that's what a moat is. So let's see. The procession curves as it marches along, and before you know it, the line has doubled back on itself. You're now in a massive ring, 2 people deep. The monk is standing right in front of you. He is an inch or two shorter than yourself, and you have a relative clear view over his shaved beard. You spot Kriya a few rows over. She's watching you. You grin at her. She looks away. A gap forms in the ring, and minstrels file through. As though released from a spell, the procession erupts into conversation. Perhaps the appearance of the minstrels was a signal that the party is about to begin. Cursed rain, you mutter as the droplets intensify. Not cursed, blessed, says the monk as he turns his head to reveal clear brown eyes. Water is life, a good omen for a birth. Really? Most cultures would think like rain would be bad for birth in terms of omen. Deciding to play the part of a dark elf, you say. You believe in all that nonsense? The monk smiles. I'm just one man. The people will believe, and that is what matters. Wow, that is actually quite deep. He's saying like, I'm just one man. Doesn't really matter what I believe in. It's just a matter of what the public believes in, because that becomes the narrative sort of thing. What do you say? Yes, blind belief is the root of law. I don't think that's the case. Are you not one of the people? Wise words, one who dresses as a slave. That's rude. Do I believe in that? Are you not one of the people? That's fine. That's a weird question to ask, actually. Oh, because wait. Are you not one of the people? As in, like, are you not part of the masses? Which I'm guessing he's not. Yes, blind belief is the root of law. Is that correct? No, it is not. because I think in this ancient society that is true, because once the king makes a law, that's the right thing, right? That becomes what is right. But however, nowadays it's more like if some law gets passed, then if the public doesn't like it, they can scrutinize it, criticize it, and we move forward, as in slowly and steadily changing the law to fit more what is beneficial. So I believe blind belief in their world is definitely the root of law. But I think I'm gonna go with "Are you not one of the people?" because I'm more interested in that, because I already know the first one. I understand the first one. Are you not one of the people, you say? Human, yes, for now. Yet we are of the real life apart from lords and their subjects. Ah, I see. He's a monk, so he's saying that he's sort of separated from it. You're a slave of the wheel, you say. Oh, that's why he's wearing a chain. So he's essentially saying that it's just a circle of life that goes around. That's why he's slave to it. Like, there's no breaking the wheel. Understand? You're a slave of the wheel, you say. Should have guessed with that collar and chain, he nods. I've heard tale of your order. Is it true that you have no patron god, you say? Gods rise and fall just like mortals. The capricious wheel of fate turns for them also. I don't believe in fate, however, so it's a bit difficult for me to relate to him. Turns for them also, says monk. We pledge ourselves to the universe itself, not to those beings that inhabit it, powerful or not. I see what he means. I think he's trying to say that everything within the universe is bound to the laws of said universe. All the power and everything essentially comes from the universe, so it doesn't matter how strong or weak you are still part of the universe. You do not surpass it. The only time that something that does not belong to the universe comes up, then you can pledge yourself to that being if you so very desire. So they're saying they don't pledge to a god because there is nothing above the universe. I think this I think this might be taken from the concept of samsar, if I'm saying that correctly. I think if you go for the Western, the way it's said, it's called samsara. It's like an A at the end. For whatever reason, the West like to put an A behind everything. But samsara, I think the concept is it sansar or is it samsar? I'm not sure. But I think the concept behind it is that you're in a continuous cycle of rebirth, right? You are born as a human. Next time you may not be born as a human. Maybe you will be born as something else. After your death you may be born again as a human, who knows? And you just continuously go into these cycles of reincarnation as a human or otherwise. We just keep getting born again and again and dying again and again. The concept of samsara, I believe, is like practiced by Buddhist monks, which believe the concept of that to achieve samsara is to be one with the universe, in which you devoid yourself of emotions and worldly attachments to the point where you kind of become one with the universe. In essentiality, that means that when a monk will die, he will not enter the cycle of rebirth, and he will simply become one with the universe and cease to exist, sort of. So that's what the goal is, to cease to exist. While I don't believe in reincarnation or anything religious or heavenly of any kind, I'm an atheist. So but that concept really rings with me, because I also believe that unlike them, they believe we enter a cycle of rebirth when we die, and their goal is the void, while I say that the void is what happens when you reach the end of your life. There is no rebirth. So it's slight differences, but yeah, kind of along the same path, I suppose. Let's see, where were we? You say you live apart from the lords, yet I do not think the king and lords see it that way, you say. Make trouble and their armies will put you to the sword and topple your monasteries. Cynical drow, says the monk. You think you see the hint of a smile on his face before he turns to watch the crowd. What does cynical drow mean? I think what he means by that, I can guess only. I think what he means by that is that you're scrutinizing the situation rather than understanding the idea behind the whole thing. Undeterred by the rain, the minstrels begin to play a dancing song. You have to raise your voice to be heard. What brings a slave of the wheel to the birth celebration of a noble woman's pup, you ask. My master demands that I bear witness, he says. Fortune. Wait, he has a master? I guess more mortal thing, but they're not bound by master. He just said that. Maybe it's his teacher or something, that's he calls master. My master demands that I bear witness, he says. Fortune's fickle, furious wheel shall spin this day. You wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't, so you ask, do you mean the mighty shall fall and the weak rise as the wheel turns? That would be fine with you. You're pretty certain such a turn of the wheel could only help you. The monk's lip turn up in what might be a smile. As I said, I'm here to find out. A curious monk, eh, you say. I too enjoy watching events take shape, although from a safe distance I shall have to stay vigilant. See you do, says the monk. The gods are so near I can smell their breath. Does he sense Egra, you wonder? Perhaps Egra fears the same thing. Since she's hiding so deep within you that you half wonder if she has somehow jumped to another champion. You fight the urge to check your chest for the amulet. Instead, do your best to smile and then look over to the minstrels in the center of the ring. I love having these sort of conversations, like deep meaning conversation. It's fascinating. Like usually, I don't like religion at all. I'm fairly anti-religion, but I do enjoy having meaningful conversations, even with religious people, as long as they are willing to have a conversation. It's like I don't expect you to change your views, but I simply wish to talk about your views. Through dialogue, through free speech, does the species move forward. Otherwise, everyone in their own head will have their own manner of what is right and wrong, and if they do not converse with others, they themselves would not see the error of their ways, if there is any, or otherwise inspire other people who have taken to something that would be unpleasant towards society or an individual or themselves, I suppose. Okay, minstrels to the center of the ring. By now, a group of dancers have joined the musicians. The dancers consist of naked men and women. Why are they naked? Isn't this like a fucking royal procession? I thought royalty hated like nudity and stuff like that. Like even in like lower fucking form, even if there was a marriage in outer ring, no one's gonna fucking start stripping naked and dancing. Fucking hell. Dancer consists of naked men and women, all of them painted with red runes similar to the giantess. The giantess herself is now lumbering into the center of the dancers. Soon she begins to sway to the music, though her expression remains flat. Her large, saggy breast swing and flop as she intensifies her movement, mesmerizing you. Oh, yep, there it is. Nice. Like you might be like, whoa, it says large saggy breasts, but like after age, breasts tend to sag a little bit. Like I'm not expecting her breast to just be down to her belly. When it means sag, it doesn't mean just like perfect, like firm all the way. I just expect a little bit of a droop, I suppose, and that's still pretty fucking hot. That doesn't really change that. So, and it's a giantess, so her fucking tits must be like the size of Lady Dimitrescu or something, even bigger might be, who knows. Swing and flop as she intensifies her movement, mesmerizing you. By the time you look back over to the monk, he's gone. Indeed, the entire parade ring is beginning to break up. Some people are joining the dances, including the bear costume man. Who the fuck is the bear costume man? Oh, the bear costume man that, I think Rhea pushed. Others are pairing off for conversation. Several vendors push carts and shout solicitations for food and drinks, instantly gathering crowds. A tall man wearing the mask of a bull dances? Wearing the mask of a bull, dances out into the throng of the celebrators. He's wearing priest robes. You don't know your cults well, but you think it's a priest of Nisa, the god of wine and merriment. Slowly you turn looking for Kriya. She's nowhere in sight, although that's not surprising with this rising chaos. Still, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot that scantily clad elven body. Spot the throng of dwarves. You spot the throng of dwarves from earlier. Sure enough, now that you have time to scrutinize them, you recognize the dwarves you bought drinks for back at the Green Dragon Inn. Helmer was the talkative and the testy one, and Horam seemed to enjoy a backup role. Agra is bubbling back up inside you. You smooth out your leather vest, feeling the lump of the pendant. What do you do?